Hi, my name is Vikram. I'm in the crypto space for quite a long time. I first got into crypto end of 2009, and beginning of 10. Of course, Bitcoin is the only thing then, and it's all about Bitcoin that I learned first. Of course, by 2011, which was almost 1.5 to 2 years from then, from when I knew about Bitcoin, is when I actually bought Bitcoin. So when I was buying, this is one of the things that I kept in that I was thinking in my mind. I was like, oh, it took me 2 years to get into it, means to completely believe in it, to understand it, to really fathom that yes, this is going to be the real future for the economics and finance of the world. So yes, in 2011 I got onto it. I went for a travel for about 2 years. Then I set up a very first Bitcoin exchange in India. It's now a trading platform called UnoCoin. It was the very first Indian platform to be set up. Since then, I've not looked back, of course. We've been doing meetups like this. And in 2017, I did a second startup called Insta Crypto. The difference between the first and the second was the Insta Crypto is a non custodial platform. We do not hold people's cryptocurrency in Insta Crypto. It's an instant swap, or I would say an exchange, where from INR to crypto to INR, we do that exchange. And as the name suggests, Insta Crypto, it's an instant exchange, and you send INR, and within right now we're doing it under 5 minutes. We try to do it as quickly as possible. That's the pursuit of our company. Yes, that's where we are, and that's my experience.
Kishore, if you're not speaking, can you please mute yourself?
Yeah, hi. Hello everyone. किशोर this side. बेसिकली मैं पिछले 5-6 साल से क्रिप्टो स्पेस में हूँ एंड मैं एल्गो ट्रेडिंग प्रोग्राम्स बनाता हूँ एंड सिर्फ डेडिकेटली बिटकॉइन के ऊपर.
Very nice, Kishore. Uh, Great stuff. I think we have some people from international. No, we don't have any. Okay, great stuff. I hope everybody understood what Kishore said. If anybody is finding it difficult to understand and follow Hindi, do let me know. Uh, I'm happy to translate and speak again. Or even Kishore can himself say that. Thank you very much, Kishore, for your introduction.
Yeah.
Would like to bring in somebody else like Ashok or Srijit.
Yeah, hi. Thank you. Thank you. I introduce myself. My name is Ashok. Actually, previously I was working as a digital marketing analyst, but currently I'm working as a data analyst and the automation part, and I am working for the Web 3.0 also. So that's make me interested in the blockchain and everything. So that's why I want to explore the more and more knowledge about as much as I can gain. So that's all.
Absolutely, great stuff. Anybody else want to introduce yourself? I know Srijit, you wanted to just message, but if you don't want to introduce yourself, just put a message on, and we can start with our slides. I just got a glimpse of that. Oh, great stuff. So yes, we have some introduction from all of us. We can start this, you know, slides. Well, here this is our uh, home screen, which is Bangalore Palace. I just found this because I'm from Bangalore. Are you guys all from Bangalore, or is anybody joining from outside Bangalore too? Oh, nice to know, Ashok. From Jaipur. I know I did my meetups in Jaipur long time ago. I've not been doing any physical meetup there. Soon, maybe we will do that in Jaipur again. I preferred Jaipur over Delhi at that time because Delhi is full of traders. I would say a lot of people know already about cryptocurrency. They're very strict about what they know, what they want to know. It's about trading. From Jaipur, at least, I got some better crowd. I would say a lot of developers came from there, and it was a good experience talking to the Jaipurians. Then I would have done it in Delhi. So that's where the Jaipur experience comes from. Okay, Adi, we can go to the next slide and we can start with the presentation. So as I said, I've been in the space for some time. Since my two of my crypto startups have been there since 2013. It's been 10 years. Uh, So it's been a long time that I've been there, and one of those things uh, that I've been doing this meetup so that I can talk about my experience and what I have been going through and what India is bringing for us in terms of crypto space. I guess we are all from India here, so it makes it very easy for us to understand very specifically. This points are made for Indian use case and Indian diaspora. Um, my experience, why I would say specifically in terms of why India makes better or optimal nation for cryptocurrency investments and for cryptocurrency use for everything about crypto is my own experience that I have lived in the UK. I have lived in the UK for about 7 years. I left UK in the year 2011, actually. 10, I quit my job. I did a study for a year. From 11 onwards, I've not been living in the UK. For good 7 years after that, the reason I left is because I realized crypto is not something that I will be able to pursue in the UK. Uh, One of those things a lot of people may not agree on, but I think India is a better place for any kind of crypto startup for the sake of being in payments and settlement sector. I understand crypto is a great product for trading. A lot of people trade in crypto in India, and a few people hold as an asset. But very, very few people in India also, in India, I would say, use crypto as payments and settlements. But if you see in abroad, a lot of people like to do crypto, like to use crypto as for payments and settlements because as we use UPI to easily communicate with people for finance, in abroad, people find it very hard to do UPI-like feature, UPI-like payment settlements within themselves because they don't have an UPI feature. All they have is cash and credit cards. They find it, or of course, bank transfer. They're not very easy as how we have set up here. So in abroad, people find it very hard to do payments and settlements. So for them, crypto is a godsend. It's like an alternative that they don't have to wait for governments to introduce something like UPI. So they can use cryptocurrencies to do payments and settlements. So this is pretty big in abroad, but of course, like the way I understand how crypto has been looked into by governments, India has had more open arms for that. I know India has been taxing people on that, means that exchanges are subject to collect 1% TDS and then submit it to the government on the person's behalf, which is actually very good because eventually when you go and pay your IT returns and you pay your taxes, you can compensate for what you've already paid as TDS. Whatever that you paid and got deducted as TDS is not going to go as waste. It is always going to help you in terms of adjusting your tax when you pay for your income tax. So anyway, let's start with the recognition and of cryptocurrencies as taxable assets. India is one of the only countries that has accepted crypto as yes, it's a trading tool, and if you do trade on it, we will collect 1% tax, which is told to the exchanges, and we as an exchange, we collect 1% tax and remit it on the person's behalf. That makes us automatically collect KYC because if I'm collecting 1% tax or deducting 1% TDS from you, how would I pay if I don't have your KYC? That means if I don't have your PAN card details. So that's one of the reasons we make it now mandatory to collect KYC details. Once we collect the KYC details, it makes it easy for us to pay your 1% TDS that we have deducted on behalf of you to the government. So that's one of the things. The one point that I was mentioning that India is the only country which is taxing. It is actually true that no other country has gone or the government has gone ahead and clarified this with their people to say that yes, you can go ahead and trade. We will collect this 1% so that it makes it legal for their people to use it. Right? India is the only country which has made it legal that way. And other thing out of the after the TDS, what India is saying is if you when you make profit on your crypto trading, within a year when you trade crypto and you profit from it, you pay as your income tax. There is a 30% cap on that profit that you collect. Mind you, if you are in a decent bracket of 15 or 16 lakhs and above per year, you're already paying 30% of your income. So crypto also falls in the same category. So these 2 points that where we collect tax and remit and you do it yourself, which is on a self-regulation basis that you self-regulate yourself and tell your CA and pay your tax at the end of the year. These are the 2 points which is very important to know, that this is only in India right now. And we call many of the Western countries like the US and UK that's available out there, people waiting to get there and then looking for visas to find visas to get there. These are the countries which are not really, people friendly to their own people. If you're really people friendly, you would bring in some kind of regulation so that people, when they do trade in crypto or use crypto, they should not fear. And when in India, when you collect tax, we don't fear after that, because if I'm paying my taxes right, and if I don't fear about, there is nothing that I'm hiding, there is no fear for me. I'm openly using cryptocurrency. This is the kind of confidence that governments can give to their people, which only India has done. And sadly, in abroad, there is no other country which has really fallen and given a clear guidelines to the people of how, what kind of tax to pay, and so that you are, you're safe for using your crypto. That's a very big thing that India has done, and I'm very happy to talk about that. That's one of those things that made me do this topic today on the meetup. Regulatory evolution, of course, we are going to be evolving from there. It's not going to stop at this place. If there is any better regulation that can come in place for crypto, we're definitely looking forward to that from our governments. So far, that collecting tax itself is a great regulation for me. If you're collecting tax, that means you are not telling me that why am I holding crypto in the future. But I guess in abroad they're still doing that. That's one of the reasons why I left UK, and it has come true now. I left UK almost 12 years ago, and things that I should say 12 years ago about how banks are controlling people in the UK and how government is not very friendly towards people is all coming to light now. The next point is consulting and industry dialogue. Indian government has shown willingness to engage with crypto industries. It's in a way they are looking forward to seeing what is happening in the crypto space and through crypto exchanges, and trying to bring in some kind of collaborative, answers to bring in regulation accordingly, which is also a good thing. The last I had heard something like that was in Australia, actually, when I was in Australia in 2016, 17. This was to help one of my friend set up an exchange there, where after I did all that and I was back, my friend then approached me and he said what was happening with their government. Their government had called all the exchange owners just to speak and understand in a conference to see what was happening in the crypto exchange and trading platform space, so that they could regulate accordingly. But nothing really came up. But they did a please approach. And with Indian scenario, I'm thinking it's much better than the even Australian scenario. Can we go next page, Adi? Yes, yeah, and true democracy and financial freedom that India can provide is much more better than the West. I would say it's people say the West has so many exchanges. What's wrong with that and things like that? No, if you go into the core West, I mean to say now in the U.S. Let's talk about U.S. specifically now. New York. New York is like the hub of financial world. Their Fed sits in New York, and supposedly New York has the best, financial and economic colleges and things like that. But still, if you are living in New York, you cannot register to exchanges which are more free. The few exchanges that you are allowed to use in New York is only Coinbase and Gemini, where are highly regulated exchanges. Mean that if you're buying through Coinbase, you get your Bitcoin like almost after 2 months. Can you believe that? That's like a joke. An exchange like India in India, which is Insta Crypto, when you buy your Bitcoin on Insta Crypto, you get it within 5 minutes. The maximum is 5 minutes. You get it sometimes within few seconds. That's where we're working on consistently so that our users can get it within 5 seconds. And this is what is available for you if you were living in New York. What I mean by that, living in New York means your KYC, when you produce your KYC of New York, none of the exchanges are allowed to take your KYC. Only a few exchanges like Coinbase and Gemini. And when Coinbase collects your KYC and allows you to start trading in crypto or buy into crypto, as soon as you pay your US dollar and you're waiting for your crypto to be given to you, it takes 2 months, 56 days for you to get credited. You may see that your wallet or the account that Coinbase gives you shows that you have a balance of X amount of Bitcoin that you bought. But to really use that Bitcoin, to send it out of that or use the Bitcoin, it takes 2 months. That's a joke that a country like US and a city like New York, which is so forward in financial world, but doesn't allow people to use their cryptocurrencies. So that's the kind of tightness that they have brought in India. At least we don't have that. We have much more freedom to use and understand and learn about cryptocurrencies. That's the point. The next one, which elaborates more into it, which is less banking controls from India. As you can see, more controls are out there in the West compared to what we have in India. Yes, Adi, we can go next. So, in terms of adoption of cryptocurrencies in India, it's a lot of people think that West is better adopted. It's actually not true. If you see, India is much more adopting into crypto. There may be specific different use cases in terms of the crypto adoption. So, what are the few different types of adoption? First of all, trading is a very big adoption of crypto. Lot of people in India love crypto trading as they like your, maybe stock market trading or precious metals trading. Same as that, a lot of people in India, or maybe I would say 100% of the traders in India know about crypto, and if they have a chance, they will trade in crypto, and they are already doing it also. So, in terms of trading, it is in par with the West. Everybody in the world knows about trading of crypto, and India is also at that same level. In terms of asset holding, I would say India and the West are all in more or less in the same adoption level for asset holding of crypto as an asset. The one thing that may not be as good in India as adoption is into payments and settlements. There is a reason for that. Payments and settlements are not big in India, same as in China also. Payments and settlements with crypto is not very big. The reason, because in India we have UPI, and in China there is something called WeChat, and they had digital payments even before crypto was there in 2006 and 7. QQ was one of the big things in China, where they used to use QQ for settlements between each other. So because they had better ones even at the time of crypto, and we are having UPI since, I would say, 2015. We've been using UPI because UPI is an easy alternative. We use that. We don't use cryptocurrency to make payments and settlements around for people. But in abroad, say in the UK and US and the most Western countries like Australia and Japan, everywhere, there is a lot more use case of cryptocurrency for payments and settlements, because clearly they don't have UPI. In Europe also, they don't have UPI. Because they don't have UPI, they find it difficult to pay people. Of course, cash is a great deal. Cash is loved. But then for cash, you have to understand, to use cash, you have to meet people in person. You cannot do cash transactions online. To do it online, you have to deposit your cash in the bank and use the banking methods, like then use your bank card or bank transfer. But then it is not as quick and easy and useful as UPI is. That's one of the reasons why abroad people use a little bit more into payments and settlements with their cryptocurrency. That's one of the great adoptions that I would say for crypto, because that's what the beginning, or the first white paper of Bitcoin, when it was released in 2008, that's exactly what was explained on that. It's a P2P electronic cash system without the need of central authority. So you really don't need anybody in between to come and assist you to move your money to another person. When you have a direct deal with that person to do business, you should be able to send instantly to him without any third parties interference. That's exactly what crypto was made for, and that has been used like that abroad. In abroad, what do we need to understand about cryptocurrencies in terms of our payments and settlement sector is, within India we use UPI. But when we do small business with somebody abroad, say from Japan, you built a code for somebody in Japan, and it is worth only $100. And if he's going to send you $100 worth, if he uses bank transfer, it's going to be a lot of fee. I'm talking about $100 is still a lot, but a lot of small payments and settlements and micropayments can be done globally from India and to India. And for that, cryptocurrency is a great tool to be used, because there we cannot use UPI. If I cannot send funds via UPI to Japan or receive some from Japan, say about $10, $15. For those small amounts, when we use cryptocurrency, it makes it easy for us, because small amounts is very expensive online. If you use banks to send just $10, they may charge you another $10 to do the transfer. So why pay another $10 to do a transfer? Instead, use cryptocurrency. You may be paying only 1 or 2%, say 10 to 20 cents to do a $10 transaction. That's where Bitcoin Cash comes into play. One of the major cryptocurrencies that I promote and I love and I talk about is nothing but Bitcoin Cash. It's nothing but Bitcoin. Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash is exactly the same. In 2017, Bitcoin got christened as Bitcoin Cash because it follows the exactly same rules as what it was set on the very first day of the launch of Bitcoin. In the white paper, whatever the details was written about Bitcoin is followed in Bitcoin Cash's protocol. So that's where you can do easy and instant settlements via cryptocurrency, that is Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin is still used. Bitcoin sits more as an asset and more as a trading tool, but Bitcoin Cash is asset trading tool and a payments currency. With Bitcoin, also it's a payments currency, but you should understand when we know about payments, UPI also can do payments, and your American Express or Visa, Mastercard also can do payments. But what is cheaper and easier and better to use? UPI, right? For especially small amounts, say 100, 200 rupees. Why would I use credit cards? People who are accepting also may not use credit cards. And especially if you bring out American Express credit card, they'll say, thank you very much, go to five-star hotel. So, they are also payments tools, but UPI works better, right, against the card. It's exactly why Bitcoin Cash works better than Bitcoin because Bitcoin takes higher fee, just like Ethereum today. Because it's a higher fee, you do a higher transactions only. But if a smaller transaction up to $100 or 105,000 rupees in Indian rupee, if you're making payments and settlements, if you use other currencies, they're going to charge you a very high fee for a network charge. But if you use Bitcoin Cash on chain, which is P2P without any other extra layers on layer one, we're able to transfer for a small amount. That's the beauty of Bitcoin Cash. So in terms of market capitalization, also there is it's a pretty big number that we have in terms of number of people in India. With that, we can get easily a lot of people holding Bitcoin, and the market cap is quite big in India too, for that matter. User adoption rates in terms of user adoption is always going up. There is no reason why it can go down because with cryptocurrency, what has happened so far in the past 10 years, it has only jumped up. I'm not talking about centralized currencies, like 99% of the cryptocurrencies are centralized currencies. People just come in, introduce their cryptocurrency from nowhere, they pre-mine it, they do airdropping, distribute it to people, and then they'll say this is the X amount of value, and then they get the exchanges to list them. And once it's done, the most things that they do with their coin is pump and dump because they are in control, they're able to do that. But if you see a handful, very small number of coins like Bitcoin, mainly Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Tron, not Tron, I'm sorry, Dash, Litecoin, these are all decentralized. Even Dogecoin, they're decentralized. That means the power of these coins are distributed on a mining network. It is not the whole power of one coin is not controlled by one person or one group or one computer. Because it's a distributed technology, these coins will survive much better. And these coins adoption is always growing because they are only growing in value. Most of the centralized coins grow very quickly and suddenly drop and they go to zero. None of these decentralized coins will go to zero because they really have the adoption rate which is growing very slowly and very steadily and very robust adoption because between these people who believe and understand cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin Cash, always there is a constant communication between each other to settle and to do value transfer between them. This kind of experience, when once you, it's like UPI, once you know you used UPI, you never go back to credit cards, right? That's the beauty of UPI. Once you understand, it's easy, instant and free to use. Free as in very small amount. Even if UPI is going to charge a small fee, it'll be very small fee. So those are the features that are very useful for human beings. It's exactly why Bitcoin Cash is very popular because once you know, once you use a Bitcoin Cash, then you see it's instant, it's almost free, and you don't have to ask anybody's permission. You can just do it instantaneously on chain on layer one. These are the beauties of any robust and any real adoption of cryptocurrency. And that's the name of the cryptocurrency that has got real adoption, real use case, Bitcoin Cash. Let's go next screen, Avi. So in terms of blockchain transactions, yes, there is a lot of adoption that's happening because a lot of people understand blockchain related cryptocurrencies are nicer, and then they have your public ledger. Unlike your UPI, it's a centralized government ledger, right? The ledger is there. If there is any issue about your payments and settlements in UPI, a small or big, if the amount is not gone through, you can look it up on your bank. In blockchain transactions, when you do a Bitcoin Cash transaction, your blockchain or your ledger that is to be checked is available online everywhere. It's for free. You go open any website like blockchain.info, blockchain.com, that is now Blockchair, uh, Block Explorers. There are many Block Explorers out there. You open any one of them, put in your transaction details that you sent or received, you'll be able to see the whole history. And this whole ledger is available for you for free, unlike a centralized ledger where they hold the control, the whole ledger distribution of that coin's data. Here it is public data. This is what we like about decentralized coin, is why I like about Bitcoin Cash, because it's a real useful currency. Investment diversity, that is something that is there in India. A lot of people would love to do investment in crypto for an asset. And also, the diversity is there in trading, in payments, in sectors. Because in UPI, it's still difficult to send abroad, right? People who were doing small amounts abroad can now use cryptocurrency. That's the diversity. Once you hold as an asset, there is multiple use cases for it. You can trade with it, you can use it for payments and settlements. But then, mind you, you should have your cryptocurrency in your own holdings, not on an exchange as an account. If exchange is holding your Bitcoin cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin Cash, then they're in control completely. Mind you, you should know about these things. When you download your own wallet, which gives you a seed phrase at the time when you first time download your wallet and store some cryptocurrency, it gives you a seed phrase. The seed phrase is also called mnemonic phrase or a recovery phrase. This is 12 words that it gives you. You have to write down in a piece of paper and keep it with you. This ensures that tomorrow, if your wallet or your phone is corrupt or lost, you should be able to retrieve your coins on a new phone through those 12 words. But mind you, none of these exchanges or trading platforms give you these, because trading platforms and exchanges hold your cryptocurrency by themselves. They are in custody. When they get hacked internally or externally, when they lose their position in their exchange because of hacking, they lose your cryptocurrency. They will never be able to give back your cryptocurrency. That's one of the reasons why on Insta Crypto, we do not hold your cryptocurrency. We give you an information to download your own wallet, provide us your receiving address, and then we send it directly to you, and you are in control of it. To help and easily hold your cryptocurrency, we give you information also on Insta Crypto so that you can understand and download the right wallets. Any wallet that you can download gives you that phrase, 12 words phrase in the beginning, automatically is a decentralized wallet and non-custodial wallet. Those are the wallets that you should actually use, because they will support you for the future. None of these exchanges, of course, you can keep a part of it in the exchange, because you want to trade sometimes, or when you want to trade, it is easier to trade if it is on an exchange, right? Do keep some part of it in exchange, but don't put all your crypto holdings in an exchange, because if that exchange went down, I don't want you to lose everything. Keep some of it on a decentralized wallet. Well, that's like one of the main things about the topic that I wanted to cover and touch base. Well, I guess this is all that I had to say. We can have some question and answers. And thank you very much for this. I would love to listen to you guys, and I know there are some people who just joined now, who can also introduce yourself, and then if you have any questions, do ask, and we can chat ahead. So Abhishek and Satya are the two new people. The others have introduced themselves. Abhishek or Satya, any one of you want to unmute yourself and then uh, introduce yourself and let us know where you from, and how you got into crypto, and what's your interest. If you have a couple of questions, go ahead and ask. Hi, Satya. If you're not able to speak, you can put your question on the message too. We can answer from there.
And you can always unmute yourselves to introduce yourself or if you want to ask some questions.
So what Adi has put in the message here in the message group of blockchain.com, this is just one of the websites. There are many, many websites out there which are freely available for you to look up your information. Hi, Paul. I guess you're one of those who don't have your mic on mute. Do you want to introduce yourself? And okay, Ashok, why would SEBI even regulate cryptocurrency? SEBI is not into technology. SEBI is not into cryptography. Why would I even believe SEBI, whatever SEBI says? SEBI is a financial or your stock market regulators. They're not crypto regulators. I wouldn't even believe if they want to regulate it. What do you mean by regulation in a way is India is already regulating crypto by taking tax on it. That means they're allowing people to use, and India has said what they have said in the 1st of January 2014. India said cryptocurrency is on a wait and watch policy. That means India would like people to use cryptocurrency, and with that, they will build a regulation accordingly. What SEBI does is very clearly financial products only. Crypto is not just a financial product; it's a technology, and SEBI will not. I would not want SEBI to regulate it of all the people because they wouldn't understand what is going on. Because SEBI is very strictly trying to understand what is going on in the your stock market space, and if somebody is going to do say manipulation of that and take advantage of your things. But in crypto space, it's completely a new technology. Is a shift in a tectonic shift in the world of tech and self custody. All of these regulators, what are they regulating? It's regulating a third party custodies. We're not even believing, we don't even want to go into that. In cryptocurrency, it is for us to take back the power. What is this power? The power should not be with the government, where government now has power to control our people with their taxes, and also now print the money also. That kind of control should not be there in one party. That's why we want cryptocurrencies, because cryptocurrency gives power back to people. When you hold your own cryptocurrency, you're not depending on banks. Then why do you even need things like SEBI to come and control? I'm not talking about you know billions and trillions and millions of dollars worth of cryptocurrency to be held and to be sent and received. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about small amounts of cryptocurrency. That's where you learn about cryptocurrency and you understand what is the future of money. The future of money should be the way we are in control completely. We hold our own assets. Just like 100 years ago, what was 100 years ago? What were we doing? We were holding our own money, we were holding our own gold. Only then we would have the custody of it and we would use. Because we were meeting people only in person and doing business, it was useful then. But because now we do things online, cash and gold comes a little bit hard to use, because cash and gold you have to meet in person to give. Now, without giving your control of your funds to banks, how do you are able to do that in today's world is via cryptocurrency. So trust of cryptocurrency comes with experience. You have to go and look and attend these kind of meetups to believe to and to know what is going on in crypto space, because you cannot wait for SEBI to come and tell you all those things. SEBI will never tell you because they themselves don't understand it. Government is also not telling you all these things because they don't understand it completely. They're now taxing every cryptocurrency, but they should have put their foot down and not allowed any of the centralized currencies that is launched and controlled by some individuals, one individual or a group of people or one company. Those kind of cryptocurrencies are already not a public help. Those decentralized, which is not in complete control of any one party, and everybody together collectively control, like Bitcoin Cash. These things are better cryptocurrencies. Government and SEBI should have already said that. Why have they not said that? Is because they don't understand it. Anyway, I hope you got the answer, Shok. But yes, do clarify, do ask more questions around that if you want to get a little bit more clarification on it.
Uh, Satya has a question.
I'm actually just reading that.
Yes.
So Satya, you were
So
traveling. That's why you're not able to speak. Not a problem.
he says, my question is, people perceive blockchain as a fad whose hype is gone in last couple of years. Uh, the thing is, I'd like to answer this question,
Go ahead,
Hima, if
Adi.
it's okay.
Please.
So I don't actually believe that, because a lot of people are working in the space of blockchain, and they are building amazing products which are very much helpful to the society. And I don't know if you have heard about ONDC, which is making a buzz in India. Uh, so even they are recently using blockchain for some of their modules. So what I'm trying to say is blockchain is not just a buzz. It is a tool which is very useful, and people are building on top of it. And they're building products which are making significant changes there in the society. So I don't think blockchain is just a buzz. And yeah, that's what. Vikram, what's your take on this?
So if you're thinking the last 2 years the blockchain's importance has gone down, it's only because of the NFT space, I would think. Because of the NFT space was pretty big a few years ago. Suddenly it was a big boom. What is this NFTs? NFTs are nothing but unique, non-fungible tokens that you want to have, right? Um, a lot of people have paintings. See, there are in this world today, there are a few paintings which are very popular. Those few paintings are rare, that's why they are popular and they're expensive. The rareness of that paintings, if that becomes in mass produced, if we had many like 100x of those paintings, do you think that will be so valuable? No, it will not be, because there is mass. It's easily available, it's everywhere, and it is cheaper. So that's what happened with NFTs in a way. It is not so rare anymore. It is easily available on your blockchain. A lot of blockchains can make NFTs, but you should understand what blockchain NFT is popular or and will be there forever. It's those which are decentralized blockchains, blockchains that are not controlled by one person. That's exactly, we're going back to the same point that I mentioned before. A cryptocurrency which is launched by one person, his blockchain means nothing, because that blockchain is already controlled by one person. So whatever NFTs you put on that will get like, I'm sorry guys, you'll have to give me 1 second. Let me just get this dog out. Adi, meantime, just uh,
Sure.
take that.
Sure. uh so Gash, do you have any more questions
Hey guys, I'm
before?
sorry. So, but anyway, we got that
Vikram,
fixed.
you're on mute, sorry.
My dog just got excited because somebody at the gate.
Vikram, you're on mute. Okay, I think now you're able to hear me, so you're on mute.
Okay, so yeah, where were we? In terms of NFTs, right?
Vikram, sorry, you're on mute.
Ah, I've been on mute for a long time or what?
Yes.
Okay, so I was talking about NFTs. Is that was that heard? Okay, Adi, you're on mute now. I don't know if you answered that. But anyway, let me get this question again. Adi did answer what he answered about the question. So, in terms of blockchain's implications and use cases pretty big in the future. I will say, I'll give you just one example. Your IP, intellectual properties that we register globally, it's going to take forever to register. Sometimes it takes years to get registered. But on the blockchain, if you believe you have a product that you think it is unique that you made, you don't have to check about others have done it or not done it. You just use that, take a picture of that, make a hash of it, hash as in the pictures hash that you get. You record that on any of these wallets where you can send and receive Bitcoin Cash. Just go into the messaging part of it, just put that hash there, and then send one transaction to yourself or to somebody. You have now timestamped that innovation to yourself. Once that innovation is timestamped to yourself, it is IP registered, and you have to choose the right blockchain for that. That's the most important thing. If you choose a Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash blockchain, that is going to last more years than a centralized blockchain, which is started by one person. Paul, don't worry about it. You can rejoin, and that way, as long as you're able to hear us clearly, you can do that. So that's the use case of blockchain. And what happened in the beginning was, beginning we understood the blockchain is going to be useful for a lot of things. So the hype was there, and suddenly, if you see, not many people really put that use case in place. And to put that use case in place, there was some platforms that came along, which was called Slockit, and there was another one called uproof. Uproof was one of the interesting ones. Uproof was allowing you to now store a document, an image, a small video or an audio, a hash of that on blockchain, and embed that blockchain on your in a transaction. So as long as you done the transaction from your wallet, you can prove that it is your transaction. And because you have done the transaction first of that image that you created, maybe it's a shoe that you designed. We were talking to one of my friend who's into designing of clothing and shoes. So he was wanting this kind of feature because every day they come up with a new design for clothing and shoes. And those people really wanted something that they can just take a picture and send it on the blockchain. And mind you, Bitcoin Cash blockchain takes only 5 paise to do one transaction. And within 5 paise, you're able to record a new design of a shoe or a cloth that is done instantly for cheaply. And now it is recorded forever because Bitcoin Cash is not going to die. Bitcoin Cash is here to survive forever because the development of Bitcoin Cash is the most that is happening around the world. And we don't see that as much because Bitcoin Cash is very less used here. And because the cash itself, the coins on that blockchain itself is used less and used more in India, the blockchain is used wholly. And the more the blockchain is used, the more useful it will be in the future because the more records on it will contain your IPs, related hashes, and everything. And in future also, this can be retrieved and used. So when in future governments understand and courts understand that an IP registered on blockchain is also as useful as how it is registered in Western countries or in the governments, you'll automatically win cases. It's like a music. I'll say a poem is written by you, and you ask a newspaper to print that poem. Your local newspaper, say Indian newspaper, Times of India, will print it. After 5 years, somebody will use that poem and then make a song out of it, and then become popular. You can always go and catch him and then say, "Dude, it's my IP because I put it on the newspaper before you." You can prove that by taking him to any one library, and if he doesn't believe it, you can take a copy of that, put a case, and then it'll be easily won. Similarly, like how newspaper has become a platform for you to record that, blockchain is also a platform, and blockchain will become more better platform because it's a global platform. A news platform like in Times of India is still very local. If it is a local Kannada or a local language newspaper, it will be even smaller. But blockchain of Bitcoin Cash is global, so automatically you will be recognized globally, and your product, whatever that you put on the IP of Bitcoin Cash blockchain, will last forever, and you'll be able to utilize that in the future. Don't think that it is a fad. It's not going to go away anywhere. Guys, anybody else want to join and take a question? So decentralization is a great thing. It is not a weakness, never a weakness. Why would you think decentralization is a weakness? Autonomy is a very big thing, and everybody looks for it. In the animals, there is autonomy is so well. I don't want to now get into the depth of that explanations and this one, but look into it how animals feel that decentralization is so important for them. Even it is for the human beings also. Anonymity is something which is wrong by your side because anonymity is not there in Bitcoin Cash, and the real decentralized currencies. Why I say that? Because decentralized currencies are not anonymous. They are pseudonymous in nature, means that all the transactions that go through on a decentralized blockchain like Bitcoin Cash is recorded, and it is available in any ledgers. Like the few links which Adi has put here, these links, including the blockchain explorer, yeah, blockchain.com, block explorer, then blockchain.info, blockchain.com. These are all the websites which are providing you these ledger for free to view. And these ledgers are not anonymous. They are open. What makes it pseudonymous is my transaction is not recorded as my name. It is recorded in a string of this numbers and alphabet string, which is an address, is in my wallet. Until and unless I publish that saying that this address belongs to me, nobody will know. But if I'm making a lot of transactions and if somebody profiles me, it's very easy for them to find out whose transactions these are. Because of my maybe more transactions that I do, or somebody is putting more time to profile me, they'll be able to easily find me. So it is not completely anonymous. Anonymity is not a thing that is there in real decentralized cryptocurrencies. Because if you see in the world today, we put out most of our information openly and by ourselves, like without any restriction. We ourselves put out so much information on social medias that it is easy for people to tell who's who and who's doing this. So similarly, in your cryptocurrencies also, we do more transactions, and eventually all of that, when somebody profiles, will be able to easily tell. And most of the times, we ourselves disclose that online. So that's how cryptos are not really anonymous. And being pseudonymous is actually good, because then there is nothing to hide. What are you trying to do with cryptocurrency? You're trying to do a genuine small time transactions around the world to learn about cryptocurrency, to see its power, and to utilize it to build commerce for your country, for yourself, and for your surroundings, right? That is a good thing. You should not worry about using cryptocurrency for that matter. And this is a great advantage to take up, because what is from the emails? If post office kept on telling you should not allow emails and it is sending messages anonymously, it's not like that, right? Emails and messaging services has improved commerce and improves livelihood for everybody, including cryptocurrency will also give the same kind of improvement to our commerce and to our development, whole development. So for that reason, these are not something that to be feared for, and it is nothing about weakness. It's a strong, I would say, strong technology for us to take, developing nations to be developed nations in future. Means a smaller nation like one of the countries in Africa, which is finding it hard to develop because they don't have banks and infrastructure, can now quickly develop because they can adopt into crypto and they don't need banks and bank infrastructures like brick and mortar banks and brick and mortar ATM machines to help grow economics in their country. They can straight away get into crypto and then increase their economics instantly without really developing all that infrastructure.
Uh, so to as Vikram said, anonymity is not the right word. It's pseudonymous, and yeah. So, but I think that this is the reason. Decentralization is one of the reasons uh, for regulatory bodies. You said. I think this is also its weakness. It is its growth and being opposed by regulatory bodies. So, because it's decentralized in nature, I do believe that this is getting opposed by regulatory bodies. I think Vikram is the right person to talk more about it. I'm more of a tech guy. And as I feel, banks likes to control people, but cryptocurrencies are decentralized in nature. When people start using cryptocurrencies, banks lose their power over people. Maybe Vikram, you can elaborate on that. So I think that is the reason why regulatory bodies are opposing the cryptocurrencies.
Well, that may be possible, but not in India. It is one of those countries like UK and US where regulators are against it. Because what has happened in a country like UK, I lived there, I worked there for 7 years, I have seen and have experienced a lot of things. In the UK, there are a very small group of people who are not on the banking ladder. Those people use cash only, and the sad part is they are named and shamed in the UK. They are called gypsies, jippos, jippolatas, whatever the names are. These are a small group of people, say about 3 to 5% only, who use cash, who don't have bank cards, bank accounts, nothing. But that's the nature of decentralization, right? In terms of cash, cash is decentralized. So because of that, I know printed by cash, the production of cash comes into play from the centralized institution, of course. But once it is with the people's hand, it is easy to manage as decentralized way. Banks want to control everything. In India, if you see, a lot of people use cash, but we're not naming and shaming these people because it's an economy in itself. There's a lot of people find it useful to use cash. Let them use, let them continue, because economics is a whole thing. Nobody has to be pushed into doing one certain thing. That's what Western countries are doing it, because they fear that the Western the people, if they're using for something, they don't know what is going on. It doesn't have to be. Nobody needs to know what is going on. If it's a small amount, even in India, when you go and deposit up to 50,000 rupees into a bank account, they're not going to ask you for PAN cards. Only when you're depositing more than 50,000 rupees, they're asking you for PAN card. So below 50,000, because they're not asking you a PAN card, you should be worried about that amount. No, we shouldn't be, because what are we doing with that small amount of money? We are only using it to grow economics around us. We're paying and settling because we're doing business, we are buying something, we are increasing commerce by easy flow of money. That is the most important thing that is to be there. It is not a weakness, it's a strong point. And centralized institutions do fear that because they want to control everything. So it's not like India, right? In India, we appreciate and we allow people to be free. In the West, that's not there. That's why we believe that these kind of regulations should come in, because Westerners are the ones who are pushing it. Western banks, UK and US banks are the ones who are asking people to do those things. It's not from India. So anyway, guys, that's been a great meetup. I think we got a few people. We got some nice questions come out. You have any more questions? Please do ask, or we can definitely wind up. If you don't have any questions, I think we can speak for a few more minutes about the points that is there. We've had a good 1 hour. That's been the meetup has been on since. Surely, you can connect with us on our meetup, on our meetup.com, of course. But also, Adi has put in his Twitter and LinkedIn account. Uh, Through his Twitter and LinkedIn, you will be able to find me. But what I can do is I can send you the link for our. Okay, so not this one then. Let me put the link for our Telegram channel.
Also, Vikram, I'm actually sharing your uh,
LinkedIn and Twitter.
LinkedIn so that people can follow you.
Surely, surely we can do that. Just going to bring in Telegram channel. Thank you very much, Adi. Putting that out. And this is our Telegram channel. You can join us here.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. So we have a couple of more minutes actually for end of our meetup. I'm sorry, Satya. I didn't understand why specifically this platform TP Connect.
What is TP Connect? Maybe it's to connect. Why specifically this platform to connect? Meet.jitsi.
Okay. So also because this is also a decentralized platform.
Yes. So maybe you have heard about decentralized applications which run on top of blockchain. So this is one of those applications which is decentralized in nature. That means not one person is controlling it, and this is running on top of blockchain. So we have chosen that.
And also in terms of the use case of blockchain, you should look up on Filecoin. Filecoin is also one of those amazingly done token, which is helping a lot of people, uh, store files, and a Filecoin can work with other companies like you'd say one of them is Huddle, where you're doing an online call, and when you want to save some of that data from that online call, you can straight away use Filecoin system and then store your whole thing. Yes, it is called the Filecoin. You're right. Store your data on that. So that's one of those things. Very specifically, Filecoin is building on that blockchain. But if you see, blockchain has got potential for everything. So who's building what on their blockchain, you will be able to use that for now. And maybe one of the blockchain which is universally used amongst the world, everybody around the world, I would say it will be Bitcoin Cash forever. So far, the way the development is going, Bitcoin Cash will be the one blockchain. So you will have maybe more features to use on the blockchain of Bitcoin Cash for the future. So things like that, group of people sit and build. When they build it, it's useful for us to use. Oh, that's great to know, Satya, that yes, there are a lot of things that's happening around the world. It is very difficult to keep track of these things. I do understand. When you come for meetups like this, you may find out a little bit more in depth about it. Okay, guys, it was a brilliant evening again. So thank you very much for joining the meetup and asking your questions, because the more the questions, we also understand what's going on with the people, because the more you ask is the more we understand. This is the level of understanding, or this is what we have to explain and help. Those kind of things is really useful, and thank you again for your questions. Yes, do that. We would look forward to answering your questions on the Telegram channel, Satya. Look forward to connecting with you there. Okay,
Thank you so
guys,
much,
thanks a lot.
Vikram. Thank you so much, Vikram. Great presentation. Got to learn a lot from you. And thanks everyone for joining and asking your questions. Look forward to connecting with you all. Is it a monthly meetup or an
Yes, it is, Satya. It's easier to remember also. It is every fourth Friday of the month. So whichever the date is, fourth Friday of the month, it's already there on the meetup.com. You'll be able to find more on it. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Adi. Thank you, Kishore and Satya and Ashok, who was there, and everyone. Have a nice weekend, guys.
Thank you.
Bye bye.